Hello friends, today we are going to talk about drugs used in treatment of malaria. Aims of treatment of malaria are to prevent clinical attack of malaria, to treat clinical attack, complete eradication of parasite from patient's body, and to cut down human to mosquito transmission. And from the classification of antimalarials, in this part of lecture we will discuss about 4-aminoquinones, that is chloroquine, amodiaquine and papiraquine, quinoline methanol, that is mefloquine, cinchoalkaloids quinine, and 8-aminoquinolines, that is primaquine and tafenoquine. The first drug we are going to talk about is chloroquine. Chloroquine is discovered in 1934 by Hans Anderson and co-workers. It was introduced into clinical practice in 1947 for the prophylactic treatment of malaria. It is rapidly acting erythrocytic schizontecide and it is effective against erythrocytic forms of P. vivax, P. ovale and P. malaria, as well as against sensitive strains of P. falciparum and also against gametocyte of P. vivax. It rapidly controls acute attack of malaria. Most of the patient becomes afebrile within 24 to 48 hours. Simultaneously, there is disappearance of parasites from peripheral blood. It does not affect exoerythrocytic phase as well. It also active against Entamoeba histolytica and Giardia lamblia. It has additional anti-inflammatory, local irritant, local anesthetic, weak skeletal muscle relaxant, antihistaminics, as well as antiarrhythmic activity. If we talk about the mechanism of action of chloroquine, chloroquine is actively concentrated by the sensitive intraerythrocytic plasmodium. Higher concentration is found in infected RBCs than in non-infected RBCs. Being alkaline, the drug reaches high concentration within the food vacuoles of the parasite and raises its pH. Normally, the parasite digests the host cell's hemoglobin to obtain essential amino acids. Here you can see hemoglobin is digested into heme and amino acids, and this process releases large amount of heme which is toxic to the parasite. So to protect itself, the parasite causes polymerization of this heme to non-toxic hemozoin, which is sequestered in the parasite's food vacuoles. But when chloroquine is concentrated inside the food vacuoles, it prevents the polymerization to hemozoin. So conversion of heme to hemozoin is inhibited. So there is an accumulation of heme results. And further accumulation of this heme results in the lysis of both the parasites as well as red blood cells. If we talk about the mechanism of resistance development against chloroquine, it may be because of the decreased ability of the parasite to accumulate chloroquine, or we can say reduced uptake of the drug inside the parasite, or maybe because of mutations in plasmodia transporter gene PFCRT, which leads to enhanced efflux of the drug from parasitic vesicles. Chloroquine resistance among P. vivax has been uncommon, but it's slowly increasing for P. vivax, while resistance is very common amongst the strains of P. falciparum and become prevalent in India. Chloroquine's pharmacokinetics, it is well absorbed orally. 60% drug is plasma protein bound. It has affinity for melanin and nuclear chromatin. It is concentrated in various tissues like say liver, spleen, kidney, lungs, skin and leukocytes. Because of its tendency to get accumulated in retina, it can cause ocular toxicity on prolonged use. It has very large apparent volume of distribution, that is about the 13 to 15,000 liter in adults, and because of wide volume of distribution, to achieve the therapeutic concentration in plasma, it is usually given in loading dose. T-half of chloroquine is, because of its high concentration in tissue, initial T-half is about 2 to 3 days and terminal T-half is about 1 to 2 months. It is metabolized in the liver into two active forms, desethylchloroquine and bis-desethylchloroquine by cytochrome P450 enzyme family. It is eliminated in the urine. On parenteral administration, the entry of drug into the body is rapid while removal is slow, so it may cause toxicity. So to prevent it, either slow intravenous or subcutaneous or intramuscular route is chosen, and it is given in small divided doses. If we talk about the adverse effects, there are some common adverse effects like say nausea, vomiting, anorexia, itching, epigastric pain, difficulty in accommodation and headache, and that are quite unpleasant. It is given in weekly suppressive doses, so toxic effect may occur after prolonged use, like say skin eruptions, headache, blurring of vision, diplopia, confusion, and convulsion. It can cause some ECG changes like say abnormal T waves and wide QRS interval, which can be reversible on discontinuation of the drug. Discoloration of nail beds, hairs, and mucous membranes may be there, and it can cause hemolysis and blood discrepancies in patient having G6PD deficiency. Retinopathy with reduced visual acuity may occur because of accumulation of drug in melanin-rich tissues known as bull's eye maculopathy, and this condition is reversible on discontinuation of the drug. It can cause ototoxicity, but it is irreversible. Myopathy, cardiomyopathy, peripheral neuropathy, and suicidal tendency occurs in some patient, and because of that, periodic neurological as well as retinal checkup should be done. Depending upon its adverse effects, in certain conditions the drug is contraindicated, like say G6PD deficiency because it can cause hemolysis, porphyria because it can worsen the condition, low levels of white blood cells, alcoholism, myasthenia gravis, it can worsen the condition, maculopathy, changes in visual field, it can cause ocular toxicity, hearing loss, which is it can cause ototoxicity and which is irreversible, abnormal ECG, liver problems, psoriasis, seizures because it can precipitate the attack of seizure, and the allergies against 4-aminoquinoline. In that condition, the drug should be avoided. Drug interactions of chloroquine. Mefloquine should not be given because it can precipitate convulsion when given with the chloroquine. Other drug is amiodarone. It can cause cardiotoxicity. Other antiarrhythmic drugs should also not be given with the chloroquine. Digoxin, if it is given with chloroquine, it can increase the concentration of digoxin in the body. Gold and phenylbutazone will cause dermatitis in the patient. Calcium and magnesium containing antacids can reduce the absorption of the chloroquine, and metoclopramide with chloroquine can precipitate extrapyramidal side effects. So precaution should be taken while giving these drugs with chloroquine. Chloroquine is the safest drug to be used during pregnancy if the lady is having malaria. Chloroquine is available as chloroquine phosphate tablets. Each 250 mg tablet contains 150 mg of base. Chloroquine hydrochloride injection contains 40 mg of the base per ml. Therapeutic uses of chloroquine. We all know that it rapidly controls acute attack of malaria. In India, it is the drug of choice for clinical cure of PYVX, POL and malaria infection, but not for P. falciparum. For PYVX acute attack, it is given in dose of 600 mg as loading dose, followed by 300 mg after 8 hours, and then for next 2 days it is repeated. Total 25 mg per kg over 3 days is given, followed by primaquine 15 mg about 14 days for radical cure purpose. For sensitive strains of P. falciparum, chloroquine can be given as described above, plus primaquine 45 mg single dose is also given. For suppressive prophylactic purpose, the dose is 300 milligram weekly. It should be started 1 week before with loading dose 10 milligram per kg and continue 1 month after return from the endemic area. So suppressive prophylaxis is given when you are traveling to from non-endemic area to endemic area, and the last dose that is given is about 25 milligram per kg over 3 days with primaquine 15 milligram per day for about 14 days. It should not be given for more than 3 years because we know that it has tendency to cause cumulative toxicity. But in India, here it is no longer used as a suppressive prophylactic, and such use is made only in P-Vivex predominant countries and in those which have chloroquine sensitive P. falciparum strain is there. Other than malaria, chloroquine can also be used in conditions like extraintestinal amoebiasis, hepatic amoebiasis, giardiasis, infectious mononucleosis, rheumatoid arthritis, lepra reaction type 2, discoid lupus erythematosus, and photogenic reactions. Next is amodiaquine. It is a chloroquine congener. Years ago, it is used for chemoprophylactic purpose. But because of the side effects like agranulocytosis and hepatotoxicity, it was withdrawn. But nowadays, it is reintroduced because it is cheap and it responds to chloroquine resistance P. falciparum. So it is used nowadays in chloroquine resistant falciparum malaria along with artesunate as artemisinin combination therapy. Papiraquine, another drug which is structurally similar to chloroquine and acts on the blood stage of parasite and have benefit of longer duration of action. Mefloquine. It is a synthetic quinoline methanol which was introduced during World War II. It is fast-acting erythrocytic schizonticide, but the action is slower than chloroquine or quinine. It is effective against chloroquine sensitive as well as resistant strains of Plasmodium, and it is efficacious suppressive prophylactic for multi-resistant P. falciparum. Mechanism of action of mefloquine is like chloroquine. It accumulates in infected RBCs, binds to heme, and this complex damages the parasite's membrane. But recent evidence suggests that the site of action of mefloquine is in the parasitic cytosol rather than in the acidic food vacuole. Mefloquine resistance can be developed by different mechanisms, like one is the same like chloroquine, that is PFCRT mutation, and it can be because of enhanced translation of PFMDR1 gene. Pharmacokinetics of mefloquine. It has good but slow oral absorption. It is highly plasma protein bound drug, about 98%. It is concentrated in the different organs like liver, lung and intestine. It extensively metabolized in the liver and secreted in the bile and undergoes into enterohepatic circulation. Because of enterohepatic circulation and tissue binding, it have long T-half, that is about 2 to 3 weeks. Adverse effect of mefloquine. It is bitter in taste. Some common side effect occurs which are usually mild, dose related and self-limiting like dizziness, GI upset, sinus bradycardia, QT prolongation. The major concern is it can cause neuropsychiatric reactions at higher dose, though it is reversible on stopping the drug. The effects are like dizziness, dysphoria, ataxia, anxiety, hallucination and convulsion. Convulsions are usually more common in patients who are recovering from cerebral malaria. Rarely it can cause hematological and hepatic and cutaneous toxicity. If it is given with mefloquine, mefloquine is given with halofentrine, quinidine, quinine or chloroquine, it can cause QTc prolongation and cardiac arrest. Mefloquine is effective in multi-drug resistant falciparum. So it is recommended in that condition with artesunate as ACT for uncomplicated falciparum malaria. Though because of its toxicity, it is not preferred nowadays. It is used as a prophylactic purpose in chloroquine resistant organism prevalent area where it is given 250 mg per week is started preferably 1 to 2 weeks before travel to assess side effects in the individuals. It is not recommended for prophylactic in residents of endemic area. It should be avoided in first trimester of pregnancy, though it is safe in pregnancy. It is also avoided in conditions like seizures and neuropsychiatric disease because it itself can precipitate convulsion and neuropsychiatric reactions. And with quinine, chloroquine, haloperidol-like drug, it should be avoided because it can cause cardiac toxicity. Next drug is quinine. Quinine is a chief alkaloid of cinchona bark known as fever bark, which is a tree found in South America. It is discovered as a cure for malaria in 1633. In 1820, quinine was isolated, and even today quinine is obtained entirely from the natural sources due to difficulties in synthesizing the complex molecule. Quinine acts as a blood schizonticides. It is used to prevent or terminate attacks of all sensitive strains of malaria. It has gametocidal activity against P. vivax and P. malaria also. It can reduce motor and plate excitability, and mechanism of action is same like chloroquine. Pharmacokinetics. It is rapidly and completely absorbed by the oral route. It has peak plasma concentration within 1 to 3 hours after oral dose. It is highly plasma protein bound, about 70%, mainly to alpha-1 acid glycoprotein, which is higher in acute malarial infection. More than 80% drug is metabolized by CYP3A4 in the liver, and only 10% is excreted unchanged in the urine, with half-life of about 10 to 12 hours. Adverse effects of quinine. It is potentially a toxic drug. A large single dose or higher therapeutic doses taken for a few days produces a syndrome called synchronism, which may be idiosyncratic or dose dependent. Few persons are idiosyncratic or hypersensitive to quinine. So in them with single dose, purpura, rashes, itching, angioedema of face or bronchoconstriction like symptoms may be appeared. While in some with higher doses, it can produce ringing in the ear, nausea and vomiting, that is because of both gastric irritation and CTZ stimulation, headache, mental confusion, vertigo, difficulty in hearing and visual defects which may be due to neurotoxicity as well as constriction of retinal and auditory vessels. It can cause diarrhea, flushing and marked perspiration may be there, and the syndrome subsides on stopping the drug. It can cause hypoglycemia by stimulating the insulin secretion, and because of that when it is given by intravenous infusion, it is given with dextrose solution. It can cause hypotension and cardiac arrhythmias if it is given too rapidly. The above mentioned symptoms occur in exaggerated form if still higher doses of quinine is given to the patient. In pregnant women and patient of falciparum, it can cause black water fever with kidney damage. Black water fever is a triad of hemolysis, hemoglobinemia and hemoglobinuria with fever. The drug is contraindicated in case of prolonged QT interval because it can precipitate cardiac arrhythmia. In G6PD deficiency patient, because it can precipitate hemolysis. Myasthenia gravis condition, it can worsen the condition. In hypersensitivity, optic neuritis and auditory problems, because it can precipitate synchronism. It can cause abortion in early pregnancy by stimulating myometrium and premature labor by stimulating uterus. So during pregnancy, it should be used only for serious falciparum malaria with special care to prevent hypoglycemia. Therapeutic uses of quinine. In malaria, it can be used orally in uncomplicated resistant falciparum malaria as an alternative to ACT only when the ACT is not available or suitable, though it is drug of choice in first trimester of pregnancy. In complicated and severe malaria, including cerebral malaria, it has been a drug of choice since years, but nowadays it is established that parenteral artemisinin are better alternatives, so they are preferred. It can also be used in nocturnal muscle cramps, myotonia congenita, myasthenia gravis diagnosis, but the condition get worsened, so it is not used, and for babesiosis. Primaquine. As compared to other antimalarials, it is poor erythrocytic schizonticide. It has weak action on P. vivax, but P. falciparum blood forms are totally insensitive. It is active against pre-erythrocytic stage of P. falciparum as compared to P. vivax. It is highly active against gametocytes and hypnozoites. The mechanism of action of primaquine is as such not clear, but it may be converted to electrophilic intermediate that act as an oxidation reduction mediators. Such activity could contribute to antimalarial effects by generating reactive oxygen species or by interfering with mitochondrial electron transport in parasite. Adverse effect of primaquine. It can cause abdominal pain, GI upset, weakness, uneasiness in chest-like symptoms at therapeutic doses, and which can be minimized by taking the drug with meals. CNS and cardiovascular symptoms are less frequent. Dose-related hemolysis, methemoglobinemia, tachypnea, and cyanosis-like effects may occur due to oxidant properties of primaquine. In G6PD deficient person, it can cause hemolytic anemia at dose of about 15 to 30 mg per day. The risk of hemolysis increases in patients having rheumatoid arthritis, systemic lupus erythematosus, and acute illness. Passage of dark urine is indication of hemolysis, and primaquine should be stopped. It should be avoided during the pregnancy because fetus is G6PD deficient. Therapeutic uses of primaquine. It is used for radical cure of relapsing malaria. It is given in dose of 15 mg for 2 weeks with full curative dose of chloroquine. Before giving primaquine, G6PD status of the patient should be known. If it is not known, then alternatively you can give primaquine 45 mg with chloroquine 300 mg once a week for 8 to 10 weeks. It is used in falciparum malaria as 45 mg single dose with curative dose of chloroquine or artemisinin combination therapy to kill gametes and cut down transmission to mosquito. It can also be used in pneumocystic cerevisiae pneumonia with clindamycin in mild to moderate cases. In patients with G6PD deficiency, rheumatoid arthritis, and systemic lupus erythematosus, the drug should be avoided because chances of hemolysis are increased. Bulaquine is a congener of primaquine. Itaquine and tafenoquine are primaquine analogues. Tafenoquine is a primaquine analog which is developed as a single-dose anti-relapse drug for PYVX malaria. It has very long plasma half-life, about 14 to 90 days as compared to primaquine, which is only 6 to 8 hours. So it acts for weeks even after a single dose. Tafenoquine is highly active against Vivax hypnozoites, and it has also some activity against erythrocytic stage of P. vivax and P. falciparum, but clearance of fever and parasitemia were slow. Therefore, it must be accompanied by chloroquine or another rapidly acting erythrocytic schizonticide for P. vivax malaria. If we see the side effect profile, it is usually tolerable but potential to cause hemolysis in G6PD deficient individuals. It can also cause GI side effects. Incidence of anemia, hemolysis and methemoglobinemia are also reported. It has been approved for radical cure of P. vivax malaria in US. So here I end this lecture. Remaining antimalarial agents we will discuss in next part. Thank you. Stay safe.